Ah, guys, what? Something's up this morning, man. All right, I came in. It's what is it now? I'm on the West Coast. It's 7:30. I came in and I recorded an entire video for my YouTube channel. You know, when you record a video, you're projecting, you're putting it out there. You want it to be nice, right? And I did the classic mistake of just never hitting the record button. And you're not looking at the thing right when you're doing it. And you finally finish, you kind of sit back, you're like, oh, that's great. Then you look over and there was nothing recorded. Just talking into the ether, which don't put me past talking into the ether, but in general, when that happens, there's nothing you want to do more than find the sharpest knife, pick an eye and just ching, you know? Absolutely brutal. Absolutely brutal. Ay, ay, ay. All right. Welcome, welcome. We're back at the desk. It's Wednesday. And if you haven't tuned in before, I pretty much come on here every day to give you a look at what it is kind of like just being a trader that's a normal dude. I live in the burbs. I have kids. I trade. I do a little bit of everything. Crypto, stocks, futures, as you can see. Real estate. Fucking private rounds of some bullshit that don't ever seem to work out. A little bit of everything. And it's chill. It is not, kimchi or whoever that kid is that won 50 mil off Trump coin and now rolls around in a Maybach going to dinners and ghosting people or whatever the kids do these days. That's not real life, man. If that's goals for you, ooh, I don't know. Maybe for some people, but I think for a lot of people, that ain't goals. Yeah, that's what I'm doing here. I'm going to chill out. I'm going to trade some, talk some, yap some, do some, whatever. As per usual, if you guys have trades you're looking at, questions, thoughts about how things have been going for you or not, please put them in the chat from wherever you're watching this. I'm actually on Substack now. We were streaming every day, me and Flo's on Substack, but he has since gone back to writing dope articles, which I wanted to share on stream, but that's for paying subscribers. But he's doing that, so I decided I'm going to continue streaming across the board here, try to run up some numbers, and then hit some licks on stream, right? Hit some licks on stream. We'll see. We'll go over the trades that I am in currently, what's working, what's not. Talk through those as per usual. Today is earnings for NVDA in the afternoon. So everybody is waiting on that. Not surprising that we had a chill Tuesday and chill day today, just in general. No PCE came out, whatever. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about your PCE number anymore. Or your CPI number, or your non-farm payroll number, or insert any number. They all just blend in after all is said and done, So after NVIDIA, we also have Jackson Hole Symposium on Thursday, Friday. You're going to hear a lot of stuff, a lot of back and forth, I'm sure, from all of these super important economic players in the game. So there'll be some clippable moments, some people agreeing with how things are going, disagreeing, maybe a keynote or two. The standard deal. Once all of that gets taken care of as we move through towards the end of the week, I expect the bid to go back on, honestly. Pretty bold up. I'm pretty bold up. Sure, everything's working. If possible, guys, if you're watching this on Twitter, please just like it or repost it or something. I would really appreciate that. If you're on YouTube, just hit the fucking like button. I do find it funny, even when I watch YouTube, like somebody says like hit the like button, I'm like, fuck you, I ain't hitting the like button. Not doing that for you. No? So do as I say, not as I do. That. All right, thanks, James, on Substack. I appreciate it. It's like it's working there. They just got live streaming going, 2 months ago or something. So we'll see how that progresses for Substack. It's pretty bare bones at this point. Via Gomez, what's your thoughts on Circle? I'll check out Circle in a little bit. I do own Circle. JK, how's the order book in ZT looking? Anything unusual? I'll take a look. Yeah, I'll even see if I could bring that up. See. What's up, guys? Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, so I think I do find the cadence of the market really funny. How we go through these periods of time where like nothing's going on, and then we have this like kind of barrage of earnings or economic calendar events, or somebody's talking, or this and that, or now it's like Stanley Druckenmiller is putting out some AI slop about Scott Bessent, who used to work for him, how he doesn't agree with how they're doing the buyback of treasury operation. It's all just fucking fugazi, guys. All fugazi. If you think any of those things are just the game changer, it's like the price is gonna tell us, man. The price is gonna tell us. All right, so JK on Substack says if PC or inflation holds at current levels and the market starts to price in slightly hotter inflation while ZT holds on, real rates on the short end start to decline, adds tailwinds to GC and BTC. And there you go. Like that's a perfect example. I agree. Like, but the price is telling us, right? Let's just trust the fucking tape. Let's trust the tape. Yeah, I'll look at ZT. We'll see what's popping on. So again, Substack guys, if you have not kind of caught up with me or whatever on YouTube, I've been streaming on YouTube at X, just adding Substack now. I'm gonna be doing this every day that I'm available. I'm gonna be watching. If I see anything interesting over here on the beautiful futures markets, I will let you know. There's been a lot of movement in metals. I've been trading. You can see on the scalp thing at the top left here. It's long. I've been trading a lot of cattle, gold, and oil, and a little bit of wheat. I'm sitting at a wheat position in a calendar right now. That is more of like a longer term thing that I'm seeing how that plays out. For now, irrelevant. But in general, wheat is something I'm watching quite a lot with the potential escalations or whatever I'm hearing in Russia and supply issues there. So because a lot of wheat is exported from the Black Sea. And if stuff's going to pop off over there, I want to be positioned accordingly, especially because the charts of wheat look interesting. Let me pull that up real quick. Or take a little peeky at wheat. So yeah, like wheat chart just looks super bullish, honestly. And if you have the dollar start to weaken, which I think it's going to, and you have any sort of escalation over there, I think you could see something interesting happen in wheat. It's been a little tricky. Like I haven't found a good spot on how to properly get long there. I've been waiting for something a little bit more obvious. We'll see. I'm keeping an eye on it. Looking for order book stuff to get entry there now. Not super obvious. I'm gonna pull up the ZT for you. Also, some interesting things. Futures of crypto are rolling too. So Bitcoin futures, Sol futures, XRP futures. Those are also interesting to see in the order books. Nobody in crypto talks about those. Oh, I'm a little too. Got a real camp. Real. Okay. What was I gonna do? All right. JK. Okay. Elfie Magliano. All right. So this is for you, JK. This is the ZT order book. The short answer for you there is no. I don't see anything abnormal. Looks pretty balanced to me on both sides. I don't see any super interesting supporter resistance players in there. Now, albeit I haven't been watching it super closely just because bond volatility has been low, liquidity's been super thick. So I usually wait for kind of bigger numbers or something like that to see if there's any actual kind of movement in there or interesting capitulation or whatever, right? But generally speaking, no. As you can see, like we're talking kind of equalness here, right? Some people might look at this and be like, "Oh my god, like there's so much size on the offer or whatever." But no, this shifts. If you watch it day to day, it's a dynamic, moving thing. It would be a little more obvious if there was anything super special going on. If there was, I would point it out. But for now, I don't necessarily see anything special. ZB views, trade the treasury or fade the treasury. Again, no specific views. If you want to get spicy and like think long end yields are gonna go, sure, I guess you could short ZB and like go for it. But I don't know, man. Like it just seems like they could just stick around where they are and I could get chopped up. I wanna have something more extreme, to be honest. So if it's balanced and now we're seeing price hold its level, does it give the current price action more weight or more trustworthy? Yeah, to me, I don't know. It's like, yes, I would say so. As liquidity is filled, it's balanced, it's more efficient, quote unquote, and movement is happening in the other assets. Like, yeah, I would say that's kind of where the pressure is being alleviated, right? Like, there's always volatility somewhere. It's just like beach balling underwater in different places. So sure, you might be seeing it expressed in gold or oil or whatever, Bitcoin a little bit. Yeah. So Alfie, my take there is I don't know. No, I just don't know. John Kurtz, is the Substack free for Chalet members? My Substack is free, bro. My Substack is free. I'm talking about Global Flows. He is paid. Chalet is not free. If you want to come into the Chalet, the link is in the description, I believe, on my YouTube channel. You can check. I'm not a member. I think I put it in there. My Substack is free, bro. Yes, it is. But that's where I'm gonna talk to more people kind of privately about more of my positions, a little more in depth, a lot of more speculative things. Will be found in my Discord. Here I'm willing to talk about any of my positions, but I might be a little more careful about all of them, if you will. And of course, like if you want to just chat to me off hours or whatever, that's kind of what the Discord's. Looks more like Wheat's doing that 2009 to 2013 fractal. Go take a peek. 2009 to 13. Something like that. Could be. I don't know. Don't know much now. All I know is that it looks bullish. All I know is that it looks. All right, so yeah, like, look, stocks. Again, we talked about this a little bit. To me, hanging out, they're waiting for the green light to get going again. They're just chilling on the day, kind of what we expected Tuesday, Wednesday, and NVDA earnings. Because again, Jensen's got the whole world on his shoulders as per usual. There's no way they could be making as much money as possible. Their guidance is going to be blah, blah, blah. The world's going to fall apart. Kick rocks, man. Doomer story is just so boring. The story of like a melt up is so much more interesting to me than the Doomer story. Because what do you want? Like, what do you want? What do you want here? All right, like let's just say Nasdaq goes down. All right, everybody who wants the fucking great financial reset. What do you want? You want this? You want it to go down 7% so you could bid. I gotta build my CapEx stocks that I have a list of. No, you won't. What do you want it to go down here? A little more spicy, right? That's a little more spicy. 26%, 200-week moving average, right? Now, look, if that happens, the VIX is going to spike hard. Everything's going to get decimated. That's why I don't know. I don't buy that happening before midterms. Early next year scares me. Early next year, if like we get through the midterms and then we have another like big chunk of time for what it's kind of like when after Trump got elected in 2024, how 2025 started off with just like attempts at crazy shit and sacrificing the market essentially during the tariff tantrum. Something like that could happen again. I foresee some sort of really big end of Trump's legacy China deal. Him and Xi just dapping it up in Beijing or wherever they meet, and they're like, we're boys now. We're boys now. We give them Taiwan. Our chip factories are humming. People start traveling to China. Everybody's like, oh, going to Sichuan. Zhangdao. They just want the easy shorts, says Bodan. Yeah, but like, there are no easy shorts, you know? Like, there's just no easy shorts. Until, to me, like, easy shorts come when the VIX is at like 50 and shit's illiquid and everybody's scared shitless. Like, to me, that's where it is. But for now, it's like, shorts are just so difficult. Any catalyst, any Trump tweet, any Besant thing, any little twist can just like rip things back up in your face, even if you're on sides. Like so scary to be short. I'd rather like the upside seems so much cleaner to me than the downside right now. Right. Or just expressing it in different ways. Like I'd rather be like long gold. Something like that. I'd rather just be long gold, right? It's so much like of a cleaner position to me. You and Flo's mentioned a few months back about plays that could benefit from everything related to Trump legacy would be interesting to think about. Yeah, I guess I don't have a great answer for that. You might have a better answer. I would love something that benefits from everything, but I don't know that that exists. I guess gold seems like the thing that they wouldn't care if just nobody would care if that thing went much higher. One thing I still worry about gold, and this is just me as a trader, whenever I see some parabolic move advance, there's, right, this was a parabolic move if you think about it in the grand scheme of gold, right? Like, you could argue that we're just in the process of creating like a right shoulder or something. And if we get like below here, I still think there is a massive downward gold move that could occur. Like, I don't think that's the case, but I'm just saying it's like a potential looming move that could occur back to like 3,000 or something. And then like, you know, let's just say that happened. And then over the next like 3 or 4 years, it was just like whatever. Would you look back and be that shocked? It could still be like bullish continuation or whatever, right? But the fact that we moved so high so fast, is it that unreasonable to think gold couldn't have like, I get it, they're gonna print money, they're gonna do all these things, and like gold should benefit in as inflation protection because they're stuck in an era of higher inflation. I get it, man, but I'm just saying this is why risk management's so important. Like you got to be weary of what's like potential, just like redundancy planning, you know? This could happen. We could just go make all-time highs like here and it'd be like, oh, of course. But we might not. I think it's very reasonable to be long here, but like I'm always considering like where am I getting out to avoid some drastic pain as a trader anyway. If he wants to make that hyper liquid, be my guest. Maybe. A lot of rumors going around about hyperliquid right now when it comes to regulatory stuff and trade XYZ maybe being like the golden child for American getting the green light in America, especially since they're pre-IPO pricing stuff. Maybe trade XYZ could be like the American representative of hyperliquid, and then hyperliquid could stay like an offshore entity. I don't really know what's going to happen there. There was also like Kraken and Gemini or something like that are set up to where they could like acquire or have some sort of deal made with hyperliquid to be the vector to get in a legal sense, because they already have a lot of like regulatory stuff cleared out of the way. So I'm kind of like paying attention to all that, and we'll see kind of what happens. Not exactly sure how that'll go down. But we're seeing yield spike today. You know, we had a PC number, whatever, a little above expectations, whatever. In the grand scheme of things, if you look at the 2-year, 10-year, and 30-year, 30-year came off a little bit once Besson kind of started getting out there in the operations. But like, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Because if we go make a new high in the 30-year, like again, going back to whoever was commenting about that, that's where you'll probably see the long end like sell off maybe more rapidly. Then I would get interested in the order book and kind of scalping it. But for now, like I'm just kind of wait to see what the tape tells us. Like again, if the 10-year were to like kind of keep pressing up a little bit, a little under 5, like I wouldn't be too concerned. Like I think I think the economy can handle it. I think stocks go higher. And then I think, the 2-year, whatever. So they're still uninteresting to me. Now you could argue that like VIX is due for a pop, but again, people underestimate how low the VIX could stay for a long period of time. Just because it spikes to like 18 or 19 and the stock market goes down 1.5%, 2% doesn't necessarily mean anything changed. It could just be kind of positional unwinds and hedging. Nikkei is still kind of looking whatever. It's actually like not looking as weak now. This candle's kind of improved. High yield credit still looks fine. Silver and gold, not much change. Still look good there. Copper, again, getting hammered at the top of this range here. So we talked about copper a little bit. Like, I'm still long a little bit of copper. I'm waiting for confirmation above highs here to just slam it. I just want to slam it long. But for now, we wait because this could easily just fall back off again, right? Kind of long-term channel. We shall see. Second gold's move. Where were As you can see, gold has been selling off pretty hard this morning. Let's zoom back out here. All of our favorite stuff that we like to cover every day as we continue to build our story. SpaceX doing a nothing burger. NVDA chilling before earnings. I wanted to see it go down a little more, so I'm going to just let it play out till earnings. Meta got sued and settled for $16 billion. Meta settles Teed's social media case for up to $17 billion. Meta has settled with 29 states over claims that Instagram and Facebook harmed children, misled users about safety, and improperly collected data from users under 13. They agreed to pay up to $17 billion. Settlement ends the federal trial in California that avoids potential penalties the states had argued could reach around $200 billion. Yeah. I mean, duh, right? We all know how shitty this stuff is for younger people. What's up, Alfie? Nice to see you. As you're always grinding. And their stock goes up today. Settle a lawsuit for $16 billion because it's harmful for children, and send the stock to the moon. We have our priorities in order. Oracle up on the day. That's nice to see. In the face of everything else going down, even SMH. So interesting little kind of a outperformance there today. Nobody's mentioning Micron anymore, you know? It's an interesting one. I don't even remember what this fractal was from. Gold? Maybe it was gold. I'm not sure. I think it was gold. But we'll see if Micron continues, because this was everybody's favorite stock for a while. SanDisk too. Let's see. SanDisk. Out of a similar chart, right? Eli Lilly chilling, still like that. Energy still looks good. Same with uranium. Better. And data center plays looking no clouds, things like that. Galaxy finally had a pretty good day yesterday. I'll say that it was fully due to our stream yesterday with our guest Flo that it went up like 10%. Pulling back a little bit today. Intervention on the yen has caused we are consolidating a little bit around this level. Been a little quiet from there. Still hasn't really broken trend. Get more interested when it gets up here. Bitcoin still, in my opinion, just consolidating. Kind of looks bullish. Like you would have thought by now it would have retraced quite a bit. We still could see retrace. Of course. Kind of clean. This thing is trading super clean at the moment. I think worst case scenario, we work our way back here. Dress. Get a little bit of a lockout rally, could be. Those are my favorite. We'll leave these here and see kind of how this progresses. My favorite one would be the top one because it would just... Nobody thinks Bitcoin could get to nobody thought it'd probably be at 80,000 or 77 right now. We still had to go down to 40,000 if I heard everybody correctly into October lows. But if we could get back to 100,000 by October, quote unquote lows, that would be pretty wild because a lot of people would have to be re-exposing themselves. Hyperliquid still humming along at all-time highs, $81 while everything else is underperforming. Zcash has chilled quite a bit, consolidating there. Still looks pretty good. We talked about Strike a little bit. Strike still looks really good to me, kind of just hanging out there. It'll be interesting to see what strategy does this week because I think they've had a lot of action, a lot of ability to. I wonder what they'll do. Will they get back to buying Bitcoin? Will they get more cash? And will they? Ooh, second. All right, we're long a little gold now after that massive move down. See how that plays out. Paid for our risk with a long. If it makes a new low, we're back out. Now that we're on sides, we'll see. Keep you updated. Unbuilt. Kids' brains are fried, but meta position really has funded the Lake House weekend. That's the place, sure. Lake House weekend. So anyways, I'm interested to see what strategy does. Are they going to retire all of their debt at once? They have like 6 billion or so in convertible debt they could try to get rid of. I don't know the technicals behind that. But they're playing catch up now to Strive, and we talked about Strive a lot yesterday. They look super good. It was the most shorted stock, probably still is the most shorted stock in the S&P 500. And their days to cover or whatever was like 8. Their product has been hitting their dividend product has been at par, so they're just churning away. They don't have any debt, clean balance sheet, just churning away Bitcoin. So let's see if they've gotten any today. Again, they've got 60 Bitcoin roughly today, and Stretch, of course, has 0 because they haven't been able to repeg to 100. So, at the money volume, 102,000 shares. So interested to see how strategy plays. It seems like they're at a little bit of a, they gotta hit the gas here. They have a lot of options, I suppose. But Strike has been looking great. Stretch is at least back to something reasonable. Hoping to see them get pegged at the end of the month. And per consolidating near all-time highs alongside Per looks good. Oh, somebody wanted to touch on Circle. Yeah, Circle chart looks great. Like, I don't know. Some people are like super bullish Circle. Some people hate it. Some people think it's trash. I just think like if you believe in the stablecoin narrative, you want to pick some of the winners that have the biggest kind of growth of the network, the most entrenched like politically or whatever. I just think Circle is in such a lead, and their price is super depressed. How many people are touching it? And the chart looks fantastic. You know what I mean? Sitting above the 200-day moving average, coming off the lows. I don't know. You could draw whatever the fuck you want here. Say like, okay, we're about to break out. It's a big wedge, right? Oh, look at that. I don't know. We at least get up to 120, and then if we break above 140, I think this thing just runs. And I will not be surprised to look back and be like, oh, Circle's at 250 by the end of whatever, 6-8 months from now. Would it be that shocking? Especially if the agentic economy story continues. Like, and you're going to see like a lot of, I've yet to see like, yeah, I've seen it here or there about how like, oh, agents are sending payments, micro payments back and forth to each other. I think that needs to grow like a crazy amount. I think it will. It'll become a story like, holy shit, like, 100,000 agents or millions of agents are just transacting all day, every day, and it's just like and it's generating a huge amount of money for something. But haven't necessarily seen that yet. I feel like it's still just kind of talked about. ETH Bitcoin still again reconsolidating, looks super good here. So again, I think this once we get past this next day or two, we're gonna see that second breath. Like the fact that we haven't moved down, I think we're gonna see that second breath of the crypto ecosystem, which is why I'm so locked on to crypto right now. Like we're seeing kind of this like consolidation phase to be off the lows. A lot of people are getting kind of chopped up right now. Seeing a lot of pullbacks. Pepe has been pulling back a bit. All right. This is one I'm holding. At the highs, I was like, should I take some off or whatever? And I was like, the plan was getting along down here. I think it could go much, much higher. I don't want to get super cute. if I go back and I get like stopped out, it's gonna suck because it's a pretty sizable bet for me. But I just think this is that moment where you're getting tested, right? We had our big initial thrust off the bottom. You have consolidation across the board. You have these events that are taking risk and hedges in the moment. And like, I think if we see that next thrust, we're going to see Pepe, we're going to see Farcoin, we're going to see Pump. Well, Pump's, I don't know about Pump. We'll see Dogecoin. Dogecoin I added to my position. Don't love that it's back under the 200-day, but like, again, it's super liquid. I could kind of get in and out as I please there. And I think that's, again, just a spot that's going to do great. These aren't like huge portions of my bags. I hope they end up being. But those are speculative things I like. All right. So we bought gold down here. See how this goes. If we hit this price alert, probably be out. This is another one, sneaky. Not many people talk about nat gas. To be honest, looks pretty spicy here. Go look at that order book real. something interesting is the RB calendars are making highs, which are like gasoline. Let's see here. That's not going to be. Yeah, so these are spicy. Guys, this is searching for Ed, I tell you. Oh. This is one of those calendar plays where, like, you guys don't know what, like, calendar spreads are. It's like taking one futures month and a futures month behind it, and, like, the difference between those, right? And when there's, like, supply issues or fundamental pressures on it or certain catalysts, those usually are pretty steady, and they can often blow out. This just looks like one of those ones that's, like, threatening to blow out. So if oil prices continue with any sort of pressure to the upside, and gasoline as well, like, this thing could just absolutely rip, and they become super fun trades. Be a little more of a trading stream. Hello, James. Hope you've had a good day so far. Yeah, man. Every day is great. I mean, not every day is great, but you know what I mean? This is what I get to come in and do every day. Pretty sweet. Sucks to lose, but I just stick to my process. Come in, I show up, I do what I can. Try to win. Very much try to win. I love to win, but love that setup. Yeah, good setup. Would be if gold tops 50 or 60 ticks. Be a nice winner. Guys, look at this is the most fucked up thing. Oh my. I think there were some crazy flash floods in Nepal. That is absolute. RIP. But anyways, and yeah, so like calendar spreads are some of my favorite things to trade in futures, just because like whenever they get really wacky, they provide some of the biggest edge out there. Because most people are trading outrights, right? Like you're trading like, oh, I trade futures, and that means you trade like the E-minis outright. It's like, bro, you trade one future and it's the hardest one. Good luck. There's a lot of futures. You gotta get limits for them all. You gotta test them all. Trade beans, man. You know, trade wheat, trade beans, trade bonds, trade gold, trade oil. Do a little bit of everything. These are price targets for this gold trade right now. See if we hit it. Oh. We got one. We got one. One checked off. See if we could get the next one. just got it. Got the second gold winner. All right. Pretty much out of that trade, I have one lot remaining. That was pretty sweet. The one's a move. Getting some squawks on some Russian. Something going on with talks. Monitoring the oil situation. Still have out an oil short, but I'm going to be careful. Careful. If it seems like there's a nothing burger, I will, if we pop up to like 84.8, I'll likely reestablish a longer position, or sorry, even shorter position, but for now, I'm just being careful. The worst is going to be speaking Friday, 7 a.m. PST, 10 a.m. EST at Jackson Hole. So that'll be interesting. Given that that'll be right when we're live here. So I'll probably listen to some of Kevin Warsh Friday. Get your popcorn ready. You can see here, it's just a broad day of weakness. Got stock slightly down, metal slightly down, bond slightly down, and oil up. So inflationary pressures hitting the tape a little bit. But overall, nothing crazy. So I put out a tweet yesterday saying, after like listening to more stuff and thinking about robotics more and seeing all this stuff online about like China and their like robotic games and stuff, dude, it just made me so bearish. Like these robots are running like, 100-meter dashes and jumping and dancing and punching each other. And I was just like, dude, it is so far away. Like built for purpose robotics makes a lot of sense to me. Robotics built for manufacturing purposes, all that, sure. But like, you know how far we are from like some robot in your house that could clean your dishes in like 40 minutes? Like right now, you're going to spend 50K on some upgraded robot that you pay a subscription price for, and it's going to fuck your laundry up. It's going to mop your floor like shit. The dishes will take 2 hours and he'll be in your way in the kitchen. I just don't buy it. I just don't buy it. And I think RoboStrategy is going to just, I think it's going to fail here. You could argue that, whatever, you could draw lines if you want to get more bullish, right? You could just be like, oh no, it's a wedge. Do whatever, right? But like, I just think it's going to die here for a while. I just think the meta, everybody got excited about space and robots. I think it's going to die for a while. That's why I think SpaceX isn't going to do much. I think RoboStrategy is going to just, I'll be very shocked if we go and break out and just rush up. Do you have thoughts on MP materials as part of rare earth adjacent trades? We talked about MP a little while ago. I think it looks good. I don't know why I had this Fibonacci. Yeah, I mean, I think this looks fine. I think it's probably a good part of your basket, you know? If you're going into like a scarcity versus abundance trade, I think this is a good spot, especially with its ties to America, I believe, right? Then yeah. Yeah, we were talking about, it kind of did dip down here. That end of last month, that looked like a pretty good spot. I think it's very reasonable to own for like a long a portion of your long-term bag for sure. We get above like, yeah, looks fine. Yeah, like I wouldn't mind owning some here and then adding above 80. Good. What happened to capital flows? Capital flows is writing, or like he's going back to kind of his bread and butter, articles, research, kind of going into the shadows and coming out with great think pieces that provide a lot of value, which a lot of people really like. The live streaming is great, but it takes a lot, you know, to get up and live stream every day, come up with great ideas, provide free value. And if it's not moving the needle for him, then I think he wants to go back to what produces his best work, which is reading and writing, produces his best thinking. So I wanted to keep streaming. So I am here. It's a little bit more trading based, you know. I'm trading during the session, talking about trades, just kind of doing a little bit of everything. And if you guys are looking at stuff, Unbuilt showed up every day. Thought he might have retired from those per calls. I don't know if you're like caught up with the whole per thesis. This is the problem with being like a public figure talking about your ideas, right? Because he made his trade, right? Basically got in at the lows, ran it up, it ran down, pulled back 40%. He ended up getting out because of a myriad of reasons, right? Made 120% or something on the trade. And then, of course, the administration came out, said the word hyperliquid, basically implied that they were going to get some sort of green light in the US, and it candled up hard and volume picked up on chain, all this stuff. And everybody's saying, oh, it's so obvious. Like, of course you got out just before everything went well. Like, bros, what are you talking about? Like, this is trading, man. Right? This is trading. So he made a good trade. He couldn't predict what was coming from that. Everybody who's stuck into per and hyperliquid feel great now. They feel smart now. But like, come on. A lot of that was like luck. So it's cool that you're still positioned in there, which I own hype, I own some per calls, but like he was just out of that position now, down to the next one. It's not like the per calls are in the money, so I'm not sure what you mean by retired off those per calls. If you were buying them back then, they're not in the money. Z61 sold some per spot, added small amounts of calls, 12, 15, $20, March 27 to Jan 28. I already had some March 15 that bought on the 10th. Per is still my largest holding. What's your thoughts on earnings, Unk? I mean, I don't know. We'll see what their earnings are. I just assume like that, like per is just like, what do you think is gonna happen with hype? You know, you think hype's gonna go way up? Like, sure, per is probably great. Let's go look at the per option chain a little bit. How do I do that? How do I do per options? January 2028. That's cool. They're not listed though, no? Wait, why are they not listed? What's up, Massey? Can't see them on TradingView. I guess I'd have to go onto my Schwab account. Dick, I agree. Capital Flows is the GOAT. I think he's going to have a bunch of legendary trades. So, you know, Oracle and Per were some of his first big calls. I think there's going to be more. And, you know, most people, they live and die by your last trade, right? And real traders understand that's not the case. You could have many trades. What matters is results over time. Go check out the per options chain here. Yeah, so it looks like you can get all the way out to January 21st, 2028 now. There's $20 options. A little bit of open interest and volume there. I'm built, I agree. Part of the game, you know? Man in the arena. Yeah, I agree. And the misstep is funny because, like, you know, it still was like a great trade, you know. So like whatever. And even Oracle, he got out for like a small loser. But again, like people who follow other people into trades will come in at different times with different incentives, with different size and different reasons. And again, they're, you know, you're looking for one thing I'm very careful with is, even though like I really like flows, right? I have to think through my own process of why do I like a play or not like a play, and how much do I want to allocate, and what's my risk management for that, right? I have to think through all that myself, which everybody else should be thinking through. But if it doesn't go right, they need a scapegoat. They need something to blame, right? Just as we talked about wheat earlier, let's go take a look. A couple interesting things happen. We'll take a look at how good the exits were in gold. Not to brag, but dang. Look at that. Bang, bang. Now I still have one left. I could have taken the position off there completely, but I don't know. I wanted to test my ability to kind of hold off the lows here with some potential escalation squawks and stuff like that. So I'm willing to just kind of take the last one lot off at break even if it comes back. But for now, that was cool. Now let's go look at wheat. This has just been ticking up hard. Again, I think Russia escalation has something to do with this. Seasonally, wheat's strong too into the fall, and then if you have any sort of weird stuff going on in Russia, because there we sent some envoy over. It's up 4.5% today. Pretty crazy for. I should have saved this. What are you guys trading out there right now? Roll about another 5 or 10 minutes, guys. Trading the rest. Anything else you want me to look at right now before I roll? Gun to my head, NVDA does fine. Nothing super exciting. Tomorrow, it's like the first day of Jackson Hole. I'm guessing risk will go back on the table. You know. And Marvell is tomorrow. Yeah, I gotta guess not much comes out of it to be Jackson Hole. I'm at this point where like I'm just sick of things everybody leans on. Seems like these random things that come out of nowhere have more of an impact, like the treasury buyback pheasant conversation. It wasn't planned. I don't think there's any force to do now. It's just hurry up and wait. Ready. Be a sniper. Guys, I appreciate you showing up if you did again. I'm going to try to keep thinking about how to approach this. It's going to be a lot even better when I could bring some of my trading right on. It was cool to see a couple trades live today that were running amok. See if any of these things we've been talking about continue. Just as a quick update on the trades that I'm in. Some look good, some don't. Long-term stuff, a lot AI based, a lot Bitcoin based. So those have recently performed okay, but are generally speaking not super well performing. Oracle kind of break even there. Circle I'm up on, which Strive. Yes. A lot of my swings are on sides. They were on sides more, but they pulled back. Again, kind of planned for this, trying to hold them. Going for a big win on some. So I've added to a couple of those, and we'll see how those progress. Scalps have been pretty solid today, actually. Gold, wheat, oil. Kind of be careful with oil, but some of these gasoline calendars look like they want to have something special happen. And nat gas calendar, we're going to keep an eye on as well. So things are getting spicy out there, honestly, for commodities. So, all right, yeah, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in.